the Knights, who will get us underway, kicking towards the north end of the ground. John McMullen is our referee. It is the city they used to call York against the city they've always called York. The Wolfpack on the prowl for win number 13 against the Knights of the Minster City. 13, unlucky for some, and Toronto head coach Paul Rowley believes this may be the sternest challenge yet for his all-conquering Chargers. So the next 80 minutes, Brian and Wallace, may be very interesting indeed.
Yes, it might be, and certainly a lot of vigour at the start of this game by the York City Knights. They've chased the ball real well down there and belted Fouey and belted Jake Emmett, so early indications.
Just over halfway, the Wolfpack. Jack Bussey will win a penalty. On McMullen already making his voice heard powerfully in these opening seconds.
Well, Will Jubb was hanging on too much there. He wasn't allowing Jack Bussey to play the ball, and so the referee, probably in my opinion, rightly adjudicates a penalty.
Hold your line, hold.
And Brierley, Fouey, Moy in the early action, took 3 or 4 to haul him down 15 metres short. Inside the 10. They've gone left. That's generally the direction you'll find Liam Kay at on that left wing. 3 metres short, 2 tackles to go. Can the Wolfpack make an early score and leave their mark on the York City Knights? This time it's right for Wheeler. All the way to Johnny Pownall. Can he get it down in the corner? Knocked on, says the referee. Pownall had a chance, but couldn't hold it.
Well, they created space, and the numbers on the fringe, on the right fringe there, and great cut-out pass from Ryan Brierley, and Johnny Pownall hangs it in, but can't get the ball down, Blake.
Yeah, good scrambling defence there from York. As you can see, goes to put the ball down, comes up short. It's unlucky there, good play from the Wolfpack, good D from York.
So chance for the York City Knights to come away. If you're new to the sport of rugby league, you're very welcome. The whole idea of the tackle count is you have 6 to move the ball as far upfield as you can, and often on the last, the 6th and final tackle, you'll see teams, if they're not in a scoring position, kick for position to get the ball as far upfield as possible. I think that's as simple as I can make it, Brian. Something like that.
Something like that.
It's a little more complicated, but not much.
Well, they paint the field north to south, so it's usually an advantage if you go that way.
So, yes. As you heard Brian say, York themselves are in a rich vein of form. 7 wins out of the last 8, and the only loss was a very narrow one, just by 2 points to Whitehaven a couple of weeks ago.
Well, not quite coming off the kick there for York Knights. They're trying to find a touchline to start the game. They do find the touchline, but not in the way they were expecting to, or ricochet off an unaware Wolfpack defender.
So the net result is a scrum down just inside York territory. And if you watch rugby union, you'll wonder quite what's going on in a scrum down in rugby league. It doesn't generally last very long, and the ball isn't usually put in very straight, but that's the way it is in this game. Here's QLT, who scored a hat-trick last week. That's out of play, and probably a forward pass as well from Craig Hall.
Well, that's loose. That's loose from Craig Hall. He started his centre opposite him and trying to get Johnny Pownall away. Q finds Craig Hall here, but well tackled in the end, Craig Hall, and can't find the pass.
Yeah, I think he'd be a bit disappointed with that one, Hawley. Drifting across there, trying to create some space for his outside man, but the pass just not sticking.
Quentin Laulu Togagai, known everybody else to QLT, 11 tries so far this season. Man of the match performance last weekend against Hunslet. Scored a pair of hat-tricks so far. That's Brad Hay making some hard yards for the Knights. Quickly into cover was Bob Bezic. Penalty coming.
Yeah.
Gonna clear it there, please.
Fair penalty that, Nigel. I thought the boy Jubb found his front, Bob was all over him, and the referee having no qualms in blowing his whistle, rightly so.
Liam Harris kicks for touch and finds it, so the Knights have a decent attacking position here. 6 tackles to come. What can they make of this set? Always important to at least complete your set of 6 and threaten your opponent's try line if you're close enough. And that's the second one. Fui Fui Moi Moi close by. This time they come left.
Good line
Harris.
speed from the Wolfpack defenders.
Harris looking for a little chink in that red wall just inside the 20 metres. Left they come again. Missed out one, and that's, well, okay, says the referee. A little bit of football. Now, forward pass in the end, which David Foggin Johnston managed to hang on to. But the ball ahead of him, and that, of course, is illegal in rugby in both codes. Lateral.
He's scored some tries this year as Foggin Johnson.
Yes, he has.
Keen to see him get in the clear and see what he's got and see what kind of wheels he's got, but clearly was a forward pass from the centre.
Well, you see, QLT is the Wolfpack's man, and the Yorkshire Knights have DFJ. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It's a lot, and it's a lot shorter than Dave Foggin Johnston as well. DFJ it is from now on for the Knights number 2, playing on the left wing. But for right now, he and his teammates have some defending to do.
Good D from York.
Great D.
Liam Kay, dummy half, Fui Fui Moi Moi, smashes through one, eventually is hauled to the turf.
Good carry from Jake Emmett.
Up to halfway. 2 tackles to go. Bezic breaks through one. Little kick forward from Gary Wheeler. Where's that going to end up? In goal.
This will be 0.
Well, just a bit too much on the kick there, and what it means for our new viewers is that's a 7 players from the restart from the 20 metres because the ball went out dead in goal, and that's adjudicated to be a poor kick in relation to the offensive team, so a more reward for the recovering York City Knights team with an extra play.
That's Adam Swift, the debut boy. Swift by name, and pretty quick on his feet as well. Well named, also plays winger as well. I'd like to have seen him play winger just because his name is Swift, but he's making his debut, the 21, in the centre. Was coached by James Ford, the head coach of the Knights. In his day job, you might like to say, he's a sports lecturer at Wakefield College. Fine institution. It's produced its fair share of rugby league players over the years. Kieran Moran, little kick forward. Underneath it is QLT, took it, span, but was caught on his own 10-metre line.
Kept his eyes on the ball.
He did.
Had a fair charge facing him there. 3 York City Knights onside. Great chase, getting down there to put him under pressure.
QLT again. It's a little high, but Greg Worthington managed to hold on.
Great strength from Greg Worthington there.
Down he goes. QLT again, eager to be part of this attacking move.
Time off there, guys. Time off. Tackle 4. Yeah.
I think he stopped it for a bit of blood on somebody's uniform or face. Wipe your nose.
Well, the physios are quickly on the scene.
There's the catch from QLT and the chase on the QLT meets DFJ.
It
Sounds like a film.
It had to happen. It was only a matter of time, guys.
I wish my last name was as good as that.
That's a great name, isn't it?
It is outstanding.
It's Sarah Hattie there, the York Knights physio. There she is. And you're absolutely right, Brian. Good eyes. A little bit of blood there, which needs to be mopped up. And as you heard the referee say, time off, which means the official timekeeper has stopped the clock, even though our TV clock keeps running for you. What that will mean, of course, is that when the 40 minutes are played, we will have a little bit of injury time, a la soccer or football if you're watching in the UK. And they're certainly watching, they're intrigued, and they've been blessed with decent weather for Canada Day evening, so to speak. So back we go, QLT barreling his way forward, trying to get to halfway, but pushed back again.
Just be careful, 28 of them shots.
Just over 10 minutes gone. Forward by Brierley, kicked up by DFJ. Fairly nippy, runs straight into Jake Emmett. Down he goes.
10 meters. Hold, 10 meters. Go.
Looking to break tackles, Craig Hall had to hold on there alongside Rich Whiting to foil the attack. Up to halfway, the Knights on the third tackle.
Hold through it. Go. Surrender. Stand. 5.
Bezic stopping his opponent, who on that occasion was Chris Siddons.
Well, he got chased down on the kick there. Did the halfback Harris, but he's found touch with it. He's manufactured a good kick there for them.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of pressure there from the inside, and he scrambled well and found touch, give his team a bit of a blow. Good kick.
Don't play for them ones, Bob, please.
So scrum down coming, head and feed to the Wolfpack. It's Ryan Brierley with ball in hand.
Make sure you keep going on that one. Yeah, heads in. Keep working around that middle, it's good.
Brierley has scored in every appearance so far for the Wolfpack, and will be looking to keep that proud record going today.
Let's go, speed it.
But first of all, there's some defence to do. Bezic for his captain. Worthington.
Well, that's sloppy. Forward pass, play one from the Wolfpack in their own 20-metre area.
They put themselves under big pressure now. York with good field position here.
Well, that was the pass from Hall to Worthington. It was just forward, well spotted.
Well, big opportunity, but many people's eyes it might not have been forward, but the officials are the ones that count. They've called it forward. So 6 players on their own try line now for the Wolfpack, and a great opportunity for the York City Knights.
Heads in. Hold your line, Gary. Let's go, let's feed it, York. Let's go,
Well,
heads in.
they'll sense blood here. They've gone right. First tackle is effective. 6-7 metres from the Wolfpack try line. Fui Moi Moi and his team. Jack Bussey in there as well. But that's the try line there. Plenty of tackles to go if they can make it in an accurate fashion. 3 tackles gone. This time they go right. Robinson. 2 to go. Stern defence so far. Again, Fui Moi Moi saying thou shalt not pass. Last tackle. Can they get there this time? Little grubber kick forwards.
Oh, they were unlucky, weren't they?
And in the end, it fumbles behind.
The kick was smart, the kick was right, it was nice and short, it didn't bounce quite right, couldn't quite grab it in, but they certainly weren't going to barge their way over the line, and this kick play is pretty good. So here's the first effort. Fui stops him on that occasion, and then he comes for the kick. And what a kick it is. To perfection, nearly brought them a 4-pointer.
Just bounced unkindly, as the egg sometimes does. It's Jake Emmett making some hard yards for the Wolfpack. But it's turned into a beautiful evening after a very stormy afternoon. I wonder whether it'll be a stormy night down there on the field. Johnny Pownall goes to ground. Craig Hall at dummy half. Bussey bustling his way forward. Get off him, says the ref, before I have to give a penalty. So he does. Bezic goes for a run himself. 2 tackles to go.
I think that's the 3rd time with the ball that the Wolfpack have decided not to complete their set of 6, so they need to clean that up. York City Knights defending, well adjudicated. Nobody pulled that ball out. Every right to keep on to that ball, and so he's saying that he just dropped it cold, Bob Bezic.
Yeah, a bit loose the last few sets here from the boys. They'll be a bit disappointed with that. You see here, Bob goes to get up and play the ball, and yeah, you can't argue there's a hand in there, but I think it's a loose carry.
Yeah, loose carry. Should have held on to it.
Did try to sell it to the ref, but Mr. McMullen was having none of it. So scrum down. Midway inside the York City Knights half of the field.
Heads in, head in,
Liam Harris will feed the scrum when the referee is ready.
I need you binding properly, please. Let's go. Heads in.
Bind it properly.
No, what are you doing with that inside arm? What is that inside arm? Go.
I think they're trying to explain the scrumming rules to everybody here.
Could you put her in there, please?
Well, this should be second nature.
Well, you put your head in there and you put it in there. I think they know what's supposed to happen.
And away we go. So, 6, and that's the first of them.
Hold, don't move off that mark.
How far forward can the Knights come? So far, in the first quarter of an hour, they've done a pretty good job.
Release it. Hold. Go. 3, move. Hold. Too early.
Coming left this time. Going into Fui Moi, but winning a penalty.
You're going too early. I'm telling you, hold.
Well, penalty for York here, who
Don't move forward.
managing to find field position and get themselves the right parts of the ground here, and offside adjudicated on the. That means they stood in front of the referee when the play the ball is made within the 10 metres, which is not allowed.
Another 20 metre made by Harris with the kick, and away they come again. This is Ronan Dixon off the interchange.
Move. Hold. Go.
Will job at dummy half. And they're threatening that Toronto line again inside 10 metres. 4 tackles to go. Can they get there this time? They got there very closely before.
Wow, he hit the line hard then, didn't he?
Yeah, great line.
Hold. Stand and play. Don't look at me.
3 to go. That's Kieran Moran.
4.
Held up.
Release him, Bob.
What, 2 metres short, no more. Knights threatening the opening score here in the evening sunshine at the Den.
It's a come to the tackle, Craig.
2 to go. Oh, turned over and picked up by Jake Emmett. Referee's going to stop all that.
You can't go back into the tackle. He was touched before that. He touched him going down.
Well, it's adjudicated that Connor Robinson's gone in, tried to strip the ball, stamped him, he's in the tackle, he's come out of the tackle, gone back in the tackle, which is adjudicating the penalty, knocked the ball out. So York were claiming that no chance, just dropped it cold, sir. There we go, let's have a look. So he's been in once, he goes in again, and the referee was saying you're not allowed to do that.
So Brierley kicks for touch.
On his foot.
Bezic gets us underway again. Fui Moi. Jack Bussey, that seems to come loose but went backwards. QLT first to react, but hauled down on the 20 metre line.
Hold 10 metres. Stay out 28. 2, move 10
Tony
metres.
Panel
Hold.
takes over. Oh, and another drop this time from Jack Bussey.
0.
It's all a little untidy from the Wolfpack in the early going, isn't it?
That's the first 5 sets, they haven't completed a set, and Jack Bussey just dropped it cold. It needs to be better than that.
Brad Hay.
1, move.
Well done, York. They put under pressure. Their line speed is good. They're getting in people's faces.
Yeah, they're doing everything right at the moment, York. As you can see, good ball there, good shape.
Robinson passes it to his right.
Hold.
Throwing everything at the Toronto Wolfpack at the moment.
He's giving them another penalty here. Another one for the Knights.
So what do you do here, Blake? Do you play on or do you kick for goal?
I think they should play on. You know, they've been playing well. They've got the boys under pressure there, and they'd be mad to take the 2 points here.
You're absolutely right. Little tap penalty. And they're threatening that line again. 3-4 metres short, perhaps, no more. Can they play it right this time? They've threatened twice before.
Good read from Craig Hall. Jumped out of the line.
Liam Harris.
Closed Harris down.
Yeah. All the way back for Ash Robson. Nippy little player, Ash Robson. Everywhere he goes, though, there's a red shirt ready to tackle.
Great work, Gary Wheeler.
Wheeler stopped him eventually. Oh, big hit. Well, the referee's going to give another penalty. Fui Moi Moi has knocked his opponent out, well, almost cold. But
he's given the penalty. Where's he saying it's late? Let's have a look.
Had it gone? Well,
It's evil. It's a hard one. He's coming flying out of the line, trying to put pressure on his man.
You can't stop there, can he?
Big 110-kilo body coming at you. I don't know if he can pull up that quick, but...
Well, it's my question. It's not. I don't think it's illegal contact. I think he's had a late.
Yeah.
That's what he's given.
it's Chris Siddons, by the way, who's on the ground, and Fui Moi Moi is getting a talking to. A quiet talking to by Mr. McCullum, and I guess we shouldn't forget that Fui Moi Moi was sin bin for the last 10 minutes of last week's game. So he plays hard, but every now and then he does cross lines.
Good to see him back on his feet after that.
Yeah.
Looks like he'll come off for a concussion test.
He's saying he's all right. I'm all right.
I
It's a
believe
free
it's,
bin, remember, with the head, just for our viewers, for a head injury like that, he can be replaced for free, so it doesn't cost an interchange from the bench.
He'll have 15 minutes to go in, get assessed by the medical staff, and if he's fit to return, he'll return to the field.
Adam.
He's saying he's sweet. Sweet, Doc. Let me back out there. Let me at Fui.
He's a braver man than me. I wouldn't go back at him.
well, caution is always
Nah, great rule. Great
the
rule,
right way
Nigel.
to go, in my opinion. Chris Siddons comes off for the time being.
On the line, boys.
But the signs are optimistic. He'll rejoin the action before too long. Meanwhile, penalty and 6 more for the York City Knights. 12, 13 metres short of the Wolfpack try line. Moving it left. Joe Batchelor, a dummy half. 10 tries for Batchelor so far this season, so he knows where the goal line is. Kieran Moran in possession on 10 metres, 3 tackles to go. Ball knocked on again. And disappointment and frustration again for the Knights, and high fives from the Wolfpack defence. A little bit of relief, Brian.
Yeah, it's good, and it was because of the pressure that the Wolfpack defence put on you. But I'm been impressed with York's start. They're looking after the ball better than probably the Wolfpack are, and getting to the right parts of the field here. It's just good shot from Laithwaite on the back rower, Joe Batchelor. And let's see if they can do the defensive bit themselves now. Great carry.
UMK inside. Wheeler with Kay again at dummy half. Haven't had a chance to see his long legs sprinting down the touchline yet. It's always a joyous sight.
Yeah,
Smart play, Johnny Pownell there. Seen the marker wasn't square, got out. Had to make the tackle, otherwise he was out of there, and he gets his team a penalty.
Riley will kick for touch, and the Wolfpack will get 6 more from what?
On his foot.
19 metres out or thereabouts. Bob Bezic will get us restarted.
Oh, my man, they're just going to look after the pill for 6th place.
Emmett inside for QLT. Always dangerous in these possessions, the last line of defence, but a very potent attacker as well. Emmett with the hard yards. Bezic goes himself. Has he got it down? He thinks he has. He has. It's Bob Bezic with the opening score. And the Wolfpack, it's been a while, but finally, Toronto has the lead with the opening drive.
Well, this is a Bezic special, a set play. Emmett lays the line, goes at the line hard. Bob Bezic's having one thing on his mind when he gets the dummy half. He can see a bit of a hole. Probably the rest of us couldn't. Too big, too fast, too strong there, Bob Bezic.
Yeah, smart hooker, just looked up there, backed himself, well-deserved try. And I think it comes on the back of the Wolfpack's defence. They've been outstanding in D. York have thrown plenty at them, and it's a credit to York. They've come up here to play, and then they got a quick penalty there with Wolfpack, and on the back of that, they get themselves 4 points.
The True North, strong and free. So Bezic, his 5th try of the season, opens the scoring. Craig Hall from 7 or 8 metres left of the posts. And of his ability, would expect to make this. Absolutely no problem. 101 came into this game with exactly 100 goals this season and has embarked on his second century. 6-0 for the Wolfpack.
I wonder what kind of kickoff we're going to see. Every week we see something different from teams.
Well, Connor Robinson will like to get the responsibility. He's the designated goal kicker, if you like.
Boys, make sure you react to them ropes for me, please.
And we have seen long ones, short ones, wide ones. You're absolutely right, Blake.
Pre-game, I've seen him. He did a few different ones, so he might have something up his sleeve here.
Short sleeves, but I know what you mean. It's actually Liam Harris. Shows you what I know. Let's see what he does do. Over to midfield. Comes down by Brierley. QLT. Quickly moved and accurately and sweetly moved left by the Wolfpack. And that hasn't always been the scenario so far this evening.
2, move! 10 metres, York, come on!
Hall.
3, move!
Up to the 40-metre mark.
Play ball, Adam!
Put a few pounds on this hole there, Nigel. That's Adam Sidler. There's about 4 stone difference.
Beg your pardon. But they've given away
What for?
a penalty.
Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. What he's saying? He's saying he should get up and play the ball there, but pushes the defender out of the way, moves off the mark. He hasn't actually played it. He could have gone back.
Yeah, he could have.
And so Harris kicks for touch.
And again, York with the possession. Wolfpack under the pump in D yet again.
Hold. On his foot.
So again, good attacking position for the York City Knights. Ed Smith, the captain, brought to ground. That is Adam Sidlow.
Don't push him, we don't need it. 2,
That's Smith.
We don't need it. Hold. Hold.
4 tries to go. For a moment, they were about 4 metres short. Taken back a little now, but still in a good position. And they find a little creativity, a little bit of imagination to find a little hole in that red wall. 4, Johnny Pownall kicks up in his own goal, looking for an exit strategy.
And what an exit strategy it was. He had to get out of there. Did a great job to get us in goal. Another smart kick.
Wheeler finds Worthington.
He's a tough man to bring down, Greg Worthington. Very strong.
Took 3. And now Liam Kay. So keen to get on with it. Just that sheer acceleration, but a turnover here and a possibility, a big possibility. It's going to be a score for York. It's Liam Harris under the post from the interception. And the Knights celebrate from the Minster City. Well, it's not the first mistake that the Wolfpack have made, but this time they have been punished and the fans are ecstatic.
Yeah, just bad pass selection there, and you know, great read in D. Runs off, scores underneath the post.
Well,
and it's well deserved. They've been good in attack. They're controlling the footy well. You know, the Wolfpack are coming up with some fundamental mistakes, and York have made them pay for it.
Craig Hall, of all people, was the man with the stray pass, picked off by Liam Harris, who said thank you very much. I'll run it in under the posts.
Yeah, he won't get an easy one. They'd actually made the puncture that the Wolfpack. They'd pushed in and around the ruck and made metres and metres, were on the front foot, and I think he got a recovering defender there in Harris. And fair play, they've shown up well, haven't they?
Yeah, most definitely.
Bobby Tyson-Wilson with the left-footed kick. And we are all tied up with 25 minutes gone at Lamport Stadium.
Make sure you get up and playing it, don't mess about. playing it there. You back up man. Stay behind it, fellas. Time you don't get... Working right.
Safe pair of hands from York in goal. The red shirts are buzzing around Sidlow there. As York, having converted the try and tied the scores up, that'll help the confidence and the self-belief no end.
Well, they don't look like they're lacking confidence, Nigel. They're running well out of dummy half. They've got a game plan in mind. Their coach has prepared them well, and they're looking good.
Okay, that's a 0.
Back to 0, I think I heard the referee say.
Yeah, 6 more players. It must have been touched by a Wolfpack player.
I think he had a head in there trying to strip or get it one-on-one.
Liam Thompson held up just inside Wolfpack territory.
Go.
Will Jubb moves it right.
Shoot, move, hold. Come on, fellas, get on with game.
You heard the referee, get on with game. Little kick forward, that's a little bit of invention, looking for DFJ on that far side. Might find it, has found it. DFJ into the corner. And the York City Knights lead in Toronto. And look at the celebration. DFJ, Dave Foggin-Johnston, crosses for a second try for the York City Knights.
Great kick. Good hands to get the offload away, and it's a great try.
Well, I think Harris kicked the ball on play 3, which takes the defence by surprise. It bounces well for them. There's no doubt about that. Smith cleans it up the back rower and finds DFG via Smith by Liam Harris again. So super try from the York City Knights.
Good bit of skill from the back row to be able to regather the ball and get the offload away. And York, they've definitely turned up here this afternoon.
D. Foggin-Johnston. Today he'll remember for a long time. His 8th try of the season for the 20-year-old. Scored 11 tries for Doncaster last year. So continuing where he left off in 2016. Connor Robinson has converted 1. This is much wider, but no less accurate, right between the posts. That's an excellent kick.
Game on, as they say.
12-6 in favour of the York City Knights.
Got roughly 12 minutes before half-time. Be interesting to see what the Wolfpack come up here.
Yeah, probably a bit longer. For me, look after the ball if you're a Wolfpack. If you're a York player, keep doing the things you're doing. They're going real good.
Well, Paul Rowley, the head coach, said before the game that this might be the sternest test his team had faced so far. And the scoreline in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen would appear to bear that out. 12-6 in favour of the 4th place Knights, who I remind you came into this game with 7 wins from their last 8 outings. Been pretty typical so far this season that by the half-hour mark the Wolfpack have begun to stretch some sort of a lead. But they are certainly in a game here. Harris fully involved once again.
40.
This time the kick
out on the
goes
full.
Straight out.
Great pressure.
Back will come.
Well, a good defensive set from the team in red there, and pressure on Harris, the kicker, I think it was, and puts the ball out on the full. So now the Wolfpack have a attacking scrum in there, or turnover. Just a turnover in the last play, so you just hand the ball over.
I think that's the kind of response, you know, Rolls would be looking for from his players. Big set in D there, and they force a mistake.
Sidlow takes the tackle on 1. Bezic has already scored. Brierley moves it quickly left. Wheeler, little jink inside. Up to the 10-metre line. Crossley still going. He's a metre short. Steve Crossley. Brierley. QLT. Pownell's going to score in the corner. Johnny Pownell.
Great footy. That's all you can say about that. That's great footy. Set play. And that's the response they would have been looking for. As you can see, here goes Briley out the back to QLT, and great pass. Cuts Hall out, hits Pownall on the wing, and the lad can finish, and he won't get an easier one.
Well, great play from both the halves there. Identifying when to pass, when not to pass. QLT when it cuts the cut-out pass at the end there to give Pownall the run-in with the 3-on-2.
They brought the ruck in as well. The Wolfpack a few plays earlier. They tightened up the defence from York there, and then good whip on the passes, and it just stretched them, and too many numbers in the end.
Johnny Pownall, leading try scorer for the Wolfpack. 15 now for the season. And Craig Hall right out on the touchline to tie the scores. It's coming in. Is it across the post? Just across the face of the post. And so the Knights still have a 2-point advantage.
Well, they're not rushing here, the Knights, to get back into the game. They're 12-10 up. 30 minutes on the clock, just over 30 minutes on the clock.
Play it at their pace.
Yeah.
They're controlling the game at the moment, so why not take your time?
Time's off, yes, they've just got back in place, thanks Bob. Stay behind me, fellas, let's keep working.
Crowd continues to grow, as is
Stay behind me, fellas.
almost the tradition of Toronto sports fans, not just at rugby or baseball or hockey or soccer or basketball. They tend to wander on in their own sweet time. But it's pretty full by the time it's all done. York, little rubber kick this time. Johnny Pownall scored the try, picks it up. Finds Sidlow, I believe.
Back from injury this week too, Adam Sidlow.
Yeah, there are a bunch of them who were 50-50 doubts. And Sidlow was certainly one of those, but showing no ill effects. Crossley up the halfway. Pownall again. Last tackle. Up and under from Briley. Into the sunshine. Where's it going to go? Briley. Off they go again. Hall out to Worthington.
Great scrambling for defence there.
And Liam Kay in the corner.
Well, in the blink of an eye, they have the lead again, Nigel, and it's on the back of a great Briley sky kick. It goes up and up and up. The York fullback can't haul it in. They get the play, 6 more plays because Worthington can't get out. Craig Hall's out there, who finds Liam Kay in the width, and he too probably won't score an easy try. That still needed scoring, but there you go, in a blink of an eye, great try.
I think it was a good set. You know, they kicked off, and it was a great set of 6 leading up to it. Good kick from Kez, and you know, good vision there from Gary Wheeler in a dummy half, and Hall gets the pass out of the K's ways, and he loves them.
And you've got to think that Briley hoisted it so high, knowing the sun is getting low in the sky, and you're looking up into that, and it's like trying to catch a baseball or a cricket ball when it's coming down, even though it's a much larger object. But there we go, and this time no problem from way out west.
In off the post.
And Craig Hall adds another goal.
Well, it was the competition for the kick that was important.
Gary Wheeler chasing really hard.
Absolutely, just real, and he competed for the kick in the air, which put the fullback off. He knocked the ball on. The Wolfpack recovered the ball. Worthington nearly gets over, and then we see the final product there.
So 16-12 from a deficit of 12-6, only what, 10 minutes or so ago. And with a little over 5 minutes to go to half-time. I suppose, Brian, you could say that normal service is being resumed.
Well, I'm not sure they'll be real happy. I think the last 2 sets have shown that they've been more positive, more direct. They've looked after the ball, but don't take any away from this York team. They've had a huge say in this game, and they've been real good. Remember, they were 12-6 up just 5 minutes ago, so yeah.
They'll keep coming too. They'll keep coming all day, so you know, the Wolfpack, they've got to be on their game.
To say it's been a competitive first half would be a huge understatement.
Steve Crossley has been good since he's come on the field.
Yeah, he's made a big difference, hasn't he?
And to say that the Wolfpack have been the architects of their own downfall on occasion would be similarly an understatement, but here they go. Now, was that a high tackle?
Knock on.
Knocked it on, I beg his pardon.
Come down here, fellas. Here we go, boys.
Just kind of stepped up a gear, the Wolfpack, and incision, direction, Sidlow, Crossley, more direct, big size, win the ground. Bob Bezic jumps out of dummy half to try and find the space and then drops the ball cold.
Yeah, pretty much. They'll be looking to play off quick rucks now to try and get Yorkside on the back foot.
Heads in, second rows.
That's how they like to play, so.
Let's go. Time's up.
Knights come away with it inside their own territory.
10 meters.
How far they can move it in the next 5 tackles.
No.
They've been very adventurous. Shown good organisation, good strength, good pace. And they've certainly worried the Wolfpack defence in this opening half. And as I say that, knocked on by Ash Robson. Kiss of death, the curse of the commentator. Strikes again. Worthington finally goes to ground, and now the referee's going to give a penalty.
It's a silly penalty too. He's held, referee's called it.
You heard the
Bit of a
referee.
second effort there.
We heard him from here say release him, and he clearly didn't. And Worthington just stayed on his feet and waited for the referee's whistle to come.
On his foot. One, move, hold your line, hold. Go.
Sidlow, big battering ram, look at him go.
Made a difference, him and
10
Crossley,
metres.
hasn't he?
Crossley moving it quickly, a little too quickly, and there's another breakaway here. The referee's whistle's gone, it's all going to come back.
He's got a penalty here, I think.
It's a penalty for the Wolfpack.
I'll tell you what, I think I might be a bit lucky because DFJ, he was on the fly there.
He was gone, wasn't he?
Was gone.
There's another Wolfpack pass that released. Gary Wheeler here goes, doesn't find his man, looking for QLT or Ryan Bryling. He gets DFJ ways. Probably good night Vienna, although Johnny Pownall's got some good
Well,
wheels.
yeah, would have been a good foot race to see.
Bezic with the tap penalty. Crossley, Brierley, Wheeler, QLT, Liam Kay in the corner again. And it looks beautiful when they do it like that. It's so simple, so effective, so incisive from the Wolfpack.
Yeah, another set piece there from the boys. They love a set start. You can see why there with the quality of footy they've just shown.
20-12.
To front row crosses out the back there to Briley, squares him up out the back, wheels onto QLT, and it's just pretty to watch really. There's not much else you can say about that. Liam Kay scores another easy one in the corner, and I'll be happy with that.
Well, they're having to play at their best offensively when they're looking after the ball because York have aimed up.
Exactly.
What that means is their defence has been strong, so these are precision plays, precision passing at the right time. That's the only way you'll crack open this York defence.
If they thought that they were going to get an easy game, that first 30 minutes of this, that was a wake-up call for them, if anything. And the last few minutes they've turned it around a bit here, but credit to the York side, they've been playing well.
Silence descends as Craig Hall lines up this conversion attempt from way out on the left-hand side. Got the last one. This one's up. Is it any good? It's no good. So 20-12, an 8-point advantage. With just a couple of minutes to go before half-time. So, Brian, put yourself in Paul Rowley's position for me for a moment. What are your thoughts? What are you going to say to your players at half-time?
A couple of things. Look after the ball a bit better than you have. And be aware of a play at any time. A play 3 play, play 4 play. So be alert and look after each other defensively. But the main message for me would be to don't give the ball away for free or this team any field position because they've shown how good they are with the ball.
I'll have to agree with you on that. I think you've hit it on the head there, Nobby.
Thanks, Blake.
It's the Mutual Admiration Society, folks. In the booth at Lamport Stadium, the Den, the home of the Toronto Wolfpack, searching for a 13th straight win in their expansion season. York City Knights have given them just as much as they can handle in this opening half. See whether they can keep that energy up in the second half. Because one of the things James Ford was saying is Liam Kay threatens to break through again. Keeps the ball alive. And then it's all a bit untidy. Sidlow manages to pick it up,
the
and
ball
he's lost
pinched.
it. And now, was there a trip, or did he trip over himself? Referee says, let's play on. Didn't see any infringement. But again, untidy. Not doing what Brian Noble said, which was to protect the ball and look after it.
There was another loose passage of play and unselective offloads, if you like, and pinched his pocket. That was just a pinched pocket one-on-one steal. It was a great steal.
Yeah, great work.
Kieran Moran
Great
down
ankle tap from
12 metres short.
QLT.
Little kick, it's going to be too strong, is it? And straight out of play.
I think QLT got an ankle tap there, which is what brought the player down there.
I reckon it was a try saver.
I think so too.
And there goes the hooter for half-time. A half of great entertainment and no little scruffiness as far as the Wolfpack, league-leading Wolfpack are concerned. At one stage they trailed by 6 points, but turned it around with tries by Pownall and Kay. A pair for Kay indeed on that left-hand side. And the Canada Day fans enjoying the action in the sunshine. But the Wolfpack holding sway as we reach half-time and leading the York City Knights at the end. Groover from Vancouver in the summer of '69 fade away on the night sky, and Craig Hall gets us underway. We don't have Brian Adams, but we have Brian Noble, MBE, and Blake Wallace in the booth alongside myself, Nigel Reid. So 40 minutes to go, 8 points the difference. What can we expect in this next little segment?
Well, if Coach Rowley's said what he had to say, they'll be a little bit more direct, a little bit more positive with ball control. And then James Ford clearly needs his team to continue doing what they're doing. When they've found field position, they've found some trick kicks, they've found some good, smart play. They've troubled the Wolfpack, for sure.
York City Knights on pretty good run themselves. They won 7 of their last 8 games, and that only loss was just by a couple of points to Whitehaven, who were second in League One a couple of weeks ago. Adam Swift making his debut with the long kick forward. And he finds QLT.
Well, it's a good opening defensive set from the Wolfpack. They get their first play of their second set.
Liam Kay up to
Pretty much
halfway. Johnny Pownall is opposite winger, takes it on another 10-12 yards. Gary Wheeler to Craig Hall, long and lanky and strong. The Wolfpack captain Bezic inside finds James Laithwaite, scored on his home debut last weekend. Big red Laithwaite. Bezic goes one way, and Liam Kay is going to touchdown for a hat-trick.
Bob Beswick. Wow.
Bob Bezic will like this one in review.
Wow.
He's shown the big see you later, the big open side pass. He's gone down short side and found Liam Kay on the hugging the touchline again. And great play, Bob Bezic.
And in terms of hookers, he's probably got some of the best vision from anyone that I've played with. And you know, you see here, he's looking, he's selling it open, had a quick look up, and big dummy, and that, to be able to do that, it's something very hard to do. And you know, there's a lot of hours of practice on that.
You see it end on here, which will exemplify the skill here that Bob shows. So he lies to the home, I'm going home and I'm going home, jumps back down the back, and 3-on-2 he creates with his vision.
A lot of white shirts going. Which way did the ball go? Heads on a swivel. That's what Bezic can do, and made it very easy for Liam Kay. A hat-trick takes him to 15 for the season alongside Pownall, and the extras added comfortably by Craig Hall.
I think that's the start Coach Rolls would have, you know, wanted from his boys. You know, they controlled the footy well, and you know, they get the first points in this second half here, and they'll be buzzing off that.
Well, it took them what, best part of 25 minutes to get on the scoreboard in the first half, And they've done it within probably the first 60 seconds of the second half. There's Craig Hall's successful conversion.
Let's keep working, boys. Make sure
Well, it's just the decisions they were making. They were decisive in relation to what they wanted to do. So Pownell came in and ran. Kay came in and ran. One of the big boppers front rowers came in and ran. Won the ground. Laithwaite laid the line, then gave the Bob Bezica decisions to make, and he made a great decision himself.
Liam Harris gets us underway again for the York City Knights, who suddenly find themselves significantly in arrears. Rich Whiting, 4 of them finally ground him on the 40-metre line. Bezic again. Some tricks. The referee is going to give a penalty to the visitors.
Fair penalty, I think, there.
Yeah, obstruction.
You can't run behind the back of the guy leading through like that. And even though Gaz did try to give his run up, he'd already gone past him, and the referee rightly say blows a penalty.
I think it's James Laithwaite that eventually goes into the line and causes the obstruction. Oh, we don't quite see it.
Yeah, he running that line, and Gaz went out the back of him. And
Physio's running hither and thither for both teams. Time off, says the referee, so this will all be added after the 80 minutes expires.
Fellas, let's make sure you're getting square at them markers. I'm talking to you, but I can't keep working too much.
Referee doing his best to manage the game. You heard him say, I'm talking to you, but I can't do too much. He's got to try and let it flow as best he can.
Right. You good to carry on?
Running repairs on the field.
Don't walk forward, come on. I need you beyond 10 metres from you as well. All of them.
So Robinson kicks for touch for the Knights. Up to the 30-metre line. Pat Smith. Former captain Pat Smith, his brother Ed now skippers the side.
2, surrender, stand, go.
Joe Batchelor.
3,
Whiting and Sidlow there to halt his progress. Pat Smith again. There's a couple of pairs of brothers on this York City Knights teams. Both the Smiths are playing today, and there's 2 Tyson Wilsons. Only one of them in the lineup today, that's Bobby. Free ball, all a little untidy. Wolfpack can bring it away. Worthington, grounded by his opposite, number 3, Nev Morrison.
10 metre.
Well, for new viewers, that was a free play. The error from the York team means that this is play one in essence. They've got a free play to try and advance the ball further down the field. If they don't make any metres or it's adjudicated they haven't had a sufficient enough advantage, they go back and play the scrum.
That's exactly what they're going to do now.
Come on, let's keep working both sides. Make sure you try.
There is Paul Rowley.
James, make sure you're trying hard, fellas, for that scrum.
Putting his messages down.
As well. Making sure you're getting square. Heads in.
So head and feed for Brierley and the Wolfpack, and they break up the blind side.
1, move, hold, go.
Bezic at dummy half, Whiting on the charge.
2, move.
The last rays of the evening sunshine. Doesn't get dark till around 9 p.m. here. Somewhere around about 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30.
Hold the line, 10 metres.
When it really gets dark, the fireworks displays will really start all along.
Sidlow with a big side.
Adam Sidlow, and it's still okay. It's going to find Liam Kay. He's already got a hat-trick. Wants to go himself. Kay's got it down. That's clever. That's really clever.
Stop it.
Come along now.
Oh, my goodness. Liam Kay, what are you doing? He is putting on a show here.
Liam Kay on Canada Day has 4 tries, and just watch this.
Big bad Sid with the bust up the middle. Great pace, gets the offload. James Laithwaite, good ball out to Kay's ways, and that's just great vision, backing his ability. Puts it on the toe, re-gathers, and that is a great finish.
Well, we're seeing it all from Liam Kay tonight. Kicking skills, finishing skills, He's carried the ball well out of his own half as well. He certainly is putting a show on. Number 4.
I got goosebumps
Have
up
you
here.
ever scored 4?
Not in a professional game, no way.
I meant in the season.
Surely I've got 4 this year.
Yeah.
I can check for you.
Nah, that's fine.
So Craig Hall. 10 metres left of the posts, and right between them, up go the flags. 32-12.
Well, they've been very direct this second half, haven't they? So Wolfpack. So
Much better start to this second half than what it was the first half, and as you can see, they're here to turn it on now.
well, I think after his injury, I think Sid Lowe, they want him to hurt that hamstring that he had. Another unbelievable sidestep from the big Sid, and he goes through the middle and doesn't quite find the offload, so being given a rest, and back comes Fui.
Yeah, I think after that run, just monitoring his hamstring. Don't want to blow him out, and deserves a rest too. The big fella, he's been good today on his return game.
That's Liam Harris, who unfortunately finds himself kicking off rather too often for his own liking now. 2 converted tries within the first 10 minutes of the second half for the Wolfpack. And now they're in the mood, and here's Steve Crossley.
Just a quick note, Canadian international and captain Rhys Jacks has come on the field. He'll be playing in the halves alongside Ryan Briley. I think he came on for Gary Wheeler.
Watch out for him. Where's number 7? Australian-Canadian. Canadian-Australian, whichever way you like. I'm sure he'll be celebrating Canada Day. That's Fui Moi Moi. Here he goes, the big man. Almost lost his footing there. He was so eager. And that is Rhys Jacks. And that is Ryan Briley. They're moving it right towards Pownall.
Great play.
They're in again. It's Johnny Pownall again.
Is that a hat-trick for Johnny? The wingers are going at it today.
Well, I think that's an expression of how this Wolfpack team play. They go from coast to coast, and if they can release their wingers, they will. And this is great play from Jackson Briley, the halves that release QLT. This is smart ball play from Hawley. Lets Pownall come inside him and finish under the sticks. And isn't he happy about this? Anything you can do, I can do, Liam.
I'll give a big rap there to Rhys Jacks. He dug into the line, which then put Ryan Briley on the outside of his man, which then created that extra number. And it was just smart footy from there on as a numbers game. And Hawley summed it up real well. And Johnny Pownall, he'll be buzzing off that, the lad.
A little bit of champagne rugby from the Wolfpack, and we saw that combination with Hall and Pownall used to good effect last week against Hunslet. Hall again, no problems with the kick. And 38-12. Suddenly there is a yawning gap in terms of the scoreline between the Wolfpack and the Knights, something that barely seemed possible in those closing minutes of the first half.
They've definitely controlled the footy really well in this second half. I don't think York have had the ball yet. They're controlling it well. They're playing on their terms, and it'll take a lot out of the York defence as well, having these boys coming at them hard and fast like they are.
Well, 3 converted tries now, as I say, within the first 10 minutes of this second half, and that must be a worrying statistic as far as the Knights are concerned. Robinson once again boots it forwards. Worthington underneath it, catches it cleanly for the Wolfpack.
Great take, Worthy.
This is Rhys Jacks, recently introduced, fresh legs, offloads to Bezic. I think that's Steve Crossley, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I think Crossley and Sid Lowe made a big impact when they came on in the first half. And
yeah, definitely.
They go again.
Jacks, and then the ball out wide again. Johnny Pownall ready to stretch those legs. He's seen his fellow winger Liam Kay score a hat-trick. He's got 2 himself.
Well done from the winger there, DFJ, I think it was. He summed it up well, and contained Johnny really well there.
Come on, Pace, let's go.
Briley to Fui Moi Moi, getting those big thighs pumping inside 10 metres. Jacks misses a couple out. Kay's in for 5. Liam Kay has 5.
He is having a field day, Liam Kay. He's loving it. the most beautiful man in rugby league, gets his 5th try. I may have a man crush on him.
I think we've all got a man crush on him. I wish I
haven't.
half as much hair as he's got.
I haven't.
And here you go.
Come along now, Brian.
Out the back to Briley, to Jackson. Jackson, good vision, looks up, great ball over the top, and the K's will take that. He said, thank you very much.
Well, you know, Brian, I'm not supposed to ask you for about another 15 or 20 minutes for your man of the match, but, well, I'm not going to, but I've got a feeling he may figure large in your considerations.
He may.
He may.
Johnny Pownall comes up with another couple.
Well, you never know.
Bezik's played well.
Could
I think
happen.
the direction of the big fellas, and just before the 30-minute mark,
I think the boys have got to credit a lot of their work because of what they're doing and how direct they're playing. It's opening up this space for these boys out wide, and it's off the back of their work that they're scoring these good tries.
Now 4 converted tries in the early stages of this second half. It's almost chalk and cheese, Blake, from what we saw in the first half. I mean, they're completing the sets.
It almost looks like a completely different side,
doesn't it? Just.
But that's what we can do when we control the footy and play our way.
44-12. There was only an 8-point difference, I remind you, at half-time, as Robinson kicks left-footed again. Kay, of course, underneath it.
Good carry from Crossley. Really impressive how he's played today.
Yeah, me too.
Fui, Moi, threatening to break through the lot of them. Bravely, Kieran Moran was in the way.
3, move! 10 metres!
Laithwaite. Sean Penkovic, I think, on the field now.
Very smart player is Penky.
Play ball, Penky!
Held up by Will Job, but only momentarily. Rhys Jacks. Brierley goes right. Hall. Pownall, of course, is beyond him. Little kick into the corner. It's going to beat them all.
Just a bit unlucky there. It's a good right option, I thought. Puts it in behind, but the kick was a little bit too heavy, and now they've got 7 tackles.
Yeah, they need the ball. Keep hold of the ball.
Hold your line.
They hadn't had it for a while. They'd been within the try line being breached, so just...
I think you can see as on their body language too, that defence they've had to do has taken a lot out of them. They just need to get through this set here.
3, move!
Well, let me bring up a point to you, Blake, from a player's perspective, something that was said by James Ford, the York City coach, the fact that this is a 7 p.m. kickoff locally, but of course midnight in the UK, and he was talking about body clocks adjusting. I mean, is that a real factor for a player? You've played both sides.
100%. Especially they came over yesterday. The travel would be effect, and then coming out here today, what is it back in the UK after midnight? Like, it's a massive factor. And
it's coming up to 1:30 in the morning in the UK. If I'm adding my 5 hours on right, just coming up to 8:30 local time.
He's playing well tonight, isn't he, Liam Kay?
He's been outstanding.
So, here's a question for you now.
Fui, Moi. Absolutely flattened Bobby Tyson Wilson there. Go ahead, Brian.
So just watch his passage
let's
of
go.
play now.
Threatening another try. It's the big man. It is a try. It's Sean Penkovic. And suddenly it's raining tries for the Wolfpack.
James Laithwaite with the offload. Big red. Jammer, where did he pull that from?
James Laithwaite, offloader extraordinaire.
Wow.
Releases Sean Penkovic. If we see the skill levels here.
I will not hear the end of this. He'll be buzzing off that, is Jammer. As you look here, good inside ball there from Rhys Jacks to Jack Bussey. And then Penky jumps out, last tackle. Good line from Jammer. And then bang, great offload. Good work from Penk to get around there, around the back.
Yeah, good finish.
Great footy.
5 tries in this second half. 5 unanswered tries from the Wolfpack. And if this goes over, it'll be an even half century. Almost in the blink of an eye. He's just pushed it a bit. Won't count this time. But 48-12. And it's a huge lead again for the Toronto Wolfpack.
My point I was going to make
Yeah.
about the travel aspect there, just to clear that up, is that after 28 minutes when it was 12-6 to York, do you think it'd have made a difference to them?
Yeah, well.
Well, I think they're given the extra day, and they're given the extra. They didn't choose to take that. They came in on the Friday to play on the Saturday. Everybody's testing their body clocks and the systems of how they can get the best out of people.
Yeah.
So they know the dynamics, and I don't think that's. I think it's about the quality of the skill in this second half, about the Wolfpack, as much as the fact that
Yeah,
York
definitely.
are tired.
Robinson kicks long again. Reece Jacks collects. But I wonder going forward as Fui Moi Moi charges forward. I mean, obviously the Toronto Wolfpack is here to stay.
Yeah.
But in terms of travel times and when teams come in and kick-off times, to give everybody I guess a fair shout, so to speak. It's something I guess that the Rugby League and the teams should consider. James Laithwaite coming forward with speed. You know, it's the first season, and one or two things have to be ironed out as Laithwaite Bussey.
Well, they're really turning it on here now, the boys. Jack Bussey, only recently back after a bit of a scare with cancer. It's great to see him back on the field, the big fella, and he'll be buzzing off getting that.
Well, it's great footy. Got through about 5 or 6 pair of hands here. Plenty of red shirts in the frame. Scrambling around a little bit, York now, and Ryan Briley just
Didn't even look. He just knew that he was there. And great awareness, and Jack Bussey shows a clean pair of heels up the middle there. Good try, good footy.
Great ambition from Jack Bussey, formerly of Featherstone, among others. Wasn't going to be stopped as he saw the whites of the posts and the Wolfpack into the 50s. Another successful kick from Craig Hall, and 54-12. And I'm going to have to write smaller because I'm beginning to run out of room here.
Is there any way to get a bigger notepad?
A bigger notepad and a pen with more ink, because I'm going to need that too soon, I think. But that's my problem. The York City Knights' problem is how to stop, how to stem the tide of these quality attacks, fast, incisive attacks that the Wolfpack have blown them away with in this second half. The game is almost unrecognisable from what we saw in the first 40 minutes. Jacks again, collects cleanly. Sidlow, and then it goes right. And here they come again. Craig Hall, over halfway. Can he go all the way? And every time they come forward now, it looks like the Wolfpack are threatening to score a try. All the things that they rehearse are coming to fruition, and there is another try for the captain himself, Craig Hall in. And it is becoming a rout at the deck.
Well, it's great skill, you have to say, right from play one in their own half from the kickoff. They spread the ball, and by the time it gets to this last play, it's a matter of identifying the numbers down the short side and a catch and pass situation, Blake.
Yeah, that's it. Great play, great lead-up work. Look here, Ryan Briley looks up late, sees numbers, great vision, tips Penke up, and then it's just quick hands. White dog onto Hawley there. And that's just great. That's just good vision. That's all it comes down to, counting numbers and coming up with the right option.
Great little offload from Whiting to Hall. In real time, that happened so quickly that I missed it entirely. I did manage to identify the try scorer, but Whiting's contribution was clearly significant. So Hall with a chance to convert his own try. And a chance for the Wolfpack to keep up the average of scoring 60 points a game, 58 as it stands. No problem at all. Oh, I beg your pardon. Missed it. Well, I was that surprised. I assumed he would, and I think he probably thought he would too.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen him animated after missing a goal like that.
Say,
Don't normally see that from him.
well, it just proves he's human after all. But 58-12, is surely an insurmountable mountain now for the York City Knights. And still, what? Best part of 20 minutes to play. Rather sums up this second half as the ball falls off its tee.
Well, I think the sun setting and the sunset on York's effort tonight, and that's not being disrespectful. That's play on, well done. There's one of the trick kicks again that comes off.
He will play on.
Shares off of Jack Bussey, great offload from Smith. Keep playing.
So Rowan Dixon does keep playing.
10 metres out of work. Hold, go.
Will job at dummy half. Bobby Tyson Wilson took that big hit from Fui Moi Moi, who's dragging him down again. They kept it alive. Will job.
Hold.
Maybe some consolation yet for the Knights as they move it left quickly, and there's almost a hole there.
Who was that? Hawley with the tackle there.
Joe Batchelor couldn't quite get there. Oh, well, they juggled it. Dixon managed to keep it going. 2 tackles to go. They're what, 7 or 8 metres short of that try line. Little grubber kick through, and DFJ was trying to get there.
Did he knock that out? I think Pownell knocked that out. Yeah, that's a big come off a Wolfpack player. I think it was a smart short kick.
All right, come on, you keep working that middle one. Yeah, you talking to him. Next time I've seen all year.
Gonna have a scrum down.
Let's go, fellas.
On the Wolfpack 10-metre line, there is James Ford with the beard. On the white shirt. So we're going to give it a go. We'll do the best we can, and they certainly did, and worried them in the first half. Ash Robson, the fullback, looking for a chink in the armour, might find it himself. Robson, well, he almost did. Just brought down by Jackson, 1 or 2 others, 3 metres short. Trying a little bit of the Bob Bezic sidestep there. Swift, the debutant, runs straight into Fui Moi Moi.
Hold your line, hold. Go.
Job at dummy half. Here they come again.
3 on your line.
3 more tackles to go.
Go.
Job again, goes left. That's clever. Tyson Wilson.
Okay, it's gone back still. Gone back.
Loose ball, carry on, they say, and so they do. Ed Smith.
4 on your line in the middle.
2 tackles to go.
On your line. Hold, go.
Now left. Almost there. Just held up, just a metre or so short. 1 tackle to go. What do they do here? Referee's whistle. Time off, we've got an injury.
Not too sure who it is.
It's last tackle, come down, fellas. Get your water on, time's off.
There you are. It's actually Connor Robinson.
Okay, fella, take your time, as long as you need it.
They've got the wind knocked out of him, or possibly worse, but
Mate, I'm watching the ball, so we've got to get along with everything.
getting some running repairs from Sarah Hattie, the physio.
He's okay. It's a good sign, he's getting up.
Yeah. Just on his haunches, up he gets. So last tackle, and they're what, a metre or so short.
Jack, come on, go put that on report. There's been an allegation you need him in the back, he's getting off the floor. I've not seen it myself, but I'm just going to put it on report.
Right.
Still, last tackle, play ball.
Here we go.
Let's go, time's on.
Can they get across the Toronto try line? Little grubber kick forward from Harris. Picked off.
1, move!
And the turnover.
Hold.
As QLT gets himself to his feet. Liam Kay finds Rich Whiting.
2, move! Hold your line!
Kay at dummy half. Bezic's there as well. Fui Moi Moi, come on.
3, move!
He's been strong with his carries today. I think he's strong every week, but
he's just a joy to watch in full flow. Fantastic athlete. Entertaining.
great hair.
Well, you said that, not me.
Stand!
Got to be brave, got to be good to wear hair like that.
No, you rolled into him.
Jacks. Sidlow. Craig Hall offloads. Johnny Pownell was the intended recipient. Well, it's all very untidy. It's going to be a penalty.
That was a poor end to a set. They've had some terrific ends to sets of the Wolfpack, but when they've had to organise one there, it was poor.
Penalty to York.
Just wondering whether Reece Jacks realised it was the last tackle. The way he jumped out of there, Normally he'd be looking to find his half and
On your line,
come up with a
on
kick
your line.
downfield,
Let's get
but
her.
it's all a bit messy there in the end.
Hold on his foot.
Well, 6 more for York, and they're, what, 10, 12 metres short. So maybe a chance here
One, on your
to
line.
do what they
10
did in the
metres
early
clear.
stages of the first half and
Through
get
it,
across
right.
that Toronto
Stay out through it.
try line, because they haven't
Two,
registered
on your line.
since the first half. They've been blown away in the first 20, 30 minutes of this second half. But where there's life, there's hope. Here's Robson, always trying to jink his way. Only passes as almost a kind of last resort. Finds Batchelor.
Three,
Down he goes.
move, Ryan. Hold. Go.
Robson again.
Okay.
Tyson Wilson, biggest man
Four. Down
in the
knee.
York City
Hold.
lineup.
Hold. Go. Play that.
Well, now, referee
Guys, play it there. It's
says.
going to be a scrum, but it's going to be a knock-on from York, and it's Toronto Iron Field.
There you go.
Yeah, I think he got that right, the referee. I think it was played out with the
Played on
foot
him
by
in front of him when he's picked it up.
the Wolfpack player, and then I think the York player picked it up and
That's
it was
in there,
back to
boys.
zero. I don't think he realised, and then he dropped it.
Heads
Well,
in.
I think he's got it right
10
too.
metres with the touches.
Scrum down, but as you heard
Heads in.
Mr. McMullen say,
Hold
it'll
your
be
line.
Toronto head and feed. Reece Jacks feeds. And here he goes again. It's Liam Kay. He's already scored 5 tries on this night. This time, they're taking no chances.
Release him!
Release him, says the referee. Off you get.
Go,
Worthington
go.
at dummy half. They go right with Jacks. Fui, moi, moi.
Two,
Finally hauled
move.
down just short of halfway. Penkovic takes over.
3, move! 10 metres, come on.
Bussey's behind him.
10.
The dummy half. Wants another run. He's already scored one. Fancies it now. He's in the mood, Jack Bussey.
4, release him!
Left they come with Laithwaite. Offloaded sweetly. Little grubber kick from Brierley. QLT. QLT. Thank you very much. Patrick last week offloads the ball into the crowd. And they're all getting in on the act.
Well, an element of luck with this one. I think there's a bit of a ricochet, but Ryan Brierley's trying to find some space, trying to find an hole. Jake Emmett, it's Jammer, James Lathwaite, 2 offloads. Ryan Brierley sees the space. QLT's on the fly. Unfortunately, the York player can't clean it up. QLT gets the ricochet.
He just gets a bit of meat. Be happy with that. The lad. Always in the right place at the right time. That's his enthusiasm. He's always sniffing around that footy and gets himself some 4 points.
Well, we spoke about it at half-time and the effect that he has at both ends of the field. Safe pair of hands under a high ball, does his defensive duties, but he always likes to get forward and support.
Yeah, definitely. He's always sniffing around that ruck there, and that just shows. He scored a few tries like that this year too.
This time, no problems with the conversion from Craig Hall, 64-12. Still plenty of time on the clock. By my reckoning, 8 second-half tries for the Wolfpack. It's only an 8-point margin at half-time. And look at the score now, 64-12. Robinson back on his feet, no ill effects from that knock he took a moment ago.
Another result off the kickoff there. Found touch. They get a scrum now with some possession. See if they can come up with some points here.
Yeah, smart kickoff.
Reacting to John, first round. Yeah, fellas, let's keep working, yeah. Heads in. Nice and close, please, Jack. Out! One!
He's been good tonight, I thought, Robinson.
Yeah, I like the way he goes about it. He's
Yeah.
got some good feet.
Calm down, calm down.
Pretty quick too.
Thompson
Hold,
wrestled
hold.
down by Sidlow, among others. Ronan Dixon offloads to Ed Smith, his captain, but the referee's whistle is gone.
Yeah, it was forward. Touchy, and the referee adjudicated that the little short pass into passage play between the forwards was, I don't know if it was Smith to Smith, it was certainly Smith was involved, but watch this, it just, not this one, the next one coming up.
Heads in, boys.
It was Dixon to Smith, I think, is adjudicated as a forward pass here, if we just watch this one.
Heads in.
Yeah, that one there. Dixon to Smith, just marginally forward, so scrum down.
You've got too many and then not enough. All right, thank you.
How many do we need in the scrum? It's today's burning question. Brierley for Hall, Pownall outside him, hangs back for the time being.
Hold your line.
Another effective captain's innings from Craig Hall tonight. Pownall darts inside.
Move! Hold your line. Go.
Pankovic at dummy half, feeds Bussey. Short of halfway, Swift among those swiftly on him. Pankovic again. And finds Laithwaite, threatening to burst through, drops the ball. Robson, little kick ahead, and then the late tackle, I fancy.
Calm down. I've got it. Penalty.
Yeah, penalty, says the referee.
Guys, walk away.
He's a bit frustrated too, maybe. A few words said there between both fullbacks.
You have your flag up.
Have another look. Yeah, Robson gets it, kicks ahead.
Laithwaite drops the ball cold, so that's a loose carry. That's play on. Robson kicks it forward, and then
yeah, Worthington puts his kind of shoulder in there. So obstruction.
Yeah, fair call, blowing up too. I wouldn't be real happy.
Don't need you shouting and screaming.
The referee just calming down the Knights captain Ed Smith. So it's okay, I saw it. Penalty. But there must be some very, very tired legs out there now, I would imagine, for the Knights.
Absolutely. It's a tough challenge. You're a part-time team, you come across here, and adventure could be a whole lot better if you aim up a whole lot better. And York have, I think they've been great tonight. Certainly the first half.
I'm just looking
second
at
half has been about the incisiveness of the Wolfpack.
I've just been starved with the footy in the second half. They haven't had much opportunity.
I'm just looking at the clock at the end of the stadium, and there's still best part of 9 minutes to play here. It could be long, very long 9 minutes for the Knights. But they're proud athletes. Chris Siddons gets to his feet. Sean Pankovic called back.
2 balls.
Now we've got 2 balls on the field.
All the way, I've got to put time off.
One out of your picture, down by the goalposts. And the one that you can see that Brad Hay just picked up.
Hold. Time's on, tackle 2, let's go.
Right, here we go. Second tackle. Adam Swift. Well, it's been a bit of a baptism of fire for the youngster, hasn't it? But what do you make of his performance
he's
in the halfbacks?
He hasn't looked out of place. He's certainly played his part. And still with some expansive belief here, the Knights. They haven't gone away. I think 10 minutes ago, I thought the sun was setting on them, but they're still playing. They're having a dig.
Siddons runs into Pankovic. Job at dummy half, up and under.
Good
Robinson.
kick, great kick.
QLT kept his eye on it. That's what he had to do, dragged into his in and goal by Morrison.
Really good kick there. As a half, that's definitely where you want to be landing the ball. Give your chasers time to get through, put pressure on the fullback, and then as QLT catches it, he gets driven into the in goal. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, good play, York.
You okay, Johnny? Let's go. Craig, when you're ready. Jack's onside.
So drop out underneath his own post for Craig Hall. He tends to get very good distance. We've seen him often clear halfway from here, and he'll do it again. That's a massive kick. Look how far that's gone. Back tracking just to retrieve the ball. Liam Thompson over halfway, but only 5 or 6 metres.
Too long. Oh, I told you one.
Holding down, and penalty for the Knights.
Can't stay there.
It's the sign.
Keep working, fellas. Keep
Once
working.
you've made the tackle, you've got to get off, and when the referee says go away, you've got to do
I
that.
told you there, fellas. Here, hold your
Still
line, hold
telling
your
them,
line. Timmy,
still talking to the Wolfpack players about their discipline at the tackle.
One, move!
Brad Hay.
Get square markers!
Held by
get the
Jake
ball.
Emmett.
Go.
EFJ, but the referee's whistle is gone.
Here we go, boys. Here, yeah.
It's good footy from York. It's, you know, they're still throwing it around. They're backing themselves. It's good to see. They haven't put the cue in the rack, and it's just unlucky that last pass drifted forward there.
Yeah, they keep playing, keep testing this red line, but it's been unbreakable this second half, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been really good defensively. Their attacks come from that as well.
44 unanswered points in this second half from the Wolfpack as Jack feeds the scrum. Penkovic for QLT. Thought about going himself, just saw a chink of light, but they were diligent in defending. Penkovic, and that's bounced off Brierley. Once again, untidy. Zero tackle, Batchelor, that's
It's off
looked
DFJ.
forward. DFJ in under the post for his second of the night, and consolation for the York City Knights.
Well, you got to clap that. That's, like I said, they're backing themselves. They've done it all night, and on the free play, they've kicked it out wide, and it's a great finish.
Well done, DFG. Well done, the York City Knights. Finishing with a flourish. Scruffy play from the Wolfpack. Here we'll see ball going out the back, not cleaned up by Brierley, and ball bouncing around on the floor.
It's the back rower again.
Smith, isn't it? Is it Smith or Batchelor?
Batchelor with a little kick.
And then
DFJ with the pace to get in behind and spot the ball down behind the sticks. Very clever.
Boom, he's gone.
Foggen Johnston with 2 tries on his debut in Toronto. He's going to end up on the losing side, but it'll be a night that he remembers. And smashed into the parking lot at the south end of the ground, over the sticks by Connor Robinson. 64-18. There's a big white SUV in that parking lot, and if it belongs to you, it might just have a dent in the roof by the time you get back to it.
Yeah, good to go, Craig, when you're ready.
But don't tell them I told you. So Craig Hall with the unusual task of kicking off in the second half. First tackle of 6. Can they break out again? Oof, Ash Robson taken down forcefully by Bussey.
Hold through it, through it. 3, move, 10 metres. Hold,
Job feigned to go right and then went left.
4,
Fui, Moy, and Emmett. And Penkovic as well. No way through there. Not that triumvirate.
Good offload, good play.
Smith did well. And they're coming down the right-hand side with Morrison. Morrison, can he break it? Kept the ball alive, managed to feed Swift. Swift, can he score on his debut? He's up to the 10-metre line. What a story that would be. The referee is going to give a penalty to the York City Knights. Laying on too long again. That's the second time in 3 or 4 minutes the Wolfpack have been guilty of that. So another 6 tackles. And that's the position they're, what, 8 metres short. They could score again here.
Easily. Well, not easily because it's been hard, but
Siddons.
showing the right enthusiasm for sure.
They sure are. Siddons.
No, you can play that.
Job goes left. And now Ash Robson again, the little twinkling feet. Improvising. The referees.
He's given a penalty to York under the sticks, I think.
Hold your line.
Tackle with somebody without the ball.
Yeah, you ready?
go again.
Panky hit on suspicion there.
Hold your line.
Siddons held up 4 metres short. But possibilities here for the captain, Ed Smith, looking for the offload, managed to find it with some help from Robinson. They feed it left, kept alive, little grubber kick, little bit of imagination, and down goes DFJ, and he thinks he's got it down. He thinks he scored a hat-trick, and the referee agrees with him. DFJ.
Good on him. Didn't give up on the chase there, and Johnny Pownall comes up with a mistake, and he capitalised on it. Good finish in the corner.
Yeah, they finished strong of York.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They haven't put the cue in the rack. They've kept coming all night. And
got some field position here. Here's Smith, fights to get the offload, gets the ball released. Spread play to the corner, trying to think it's Batcher again that puts it on the toe, and it's
a good kick
at the time, and DFJ gets it down.
Bounce just deceiving Johnny Pownall, and before he could get his wits about him, DFJ said, thanks very much, I'll put it on the ground.
He's been good tonight too. Yeah. DFJ's attack and defence, he's been really well.
And the York points total represents the most points scored against the Toronto Wolfpack by an opposition team all season. Kicks just drifted wide, but 64-22 with just over a minute or so remaining in the contest, and it has been a contest, gentlemen.
Oh, definitely. He took after the scoreline after 30 minutes. What was it, 12-6, 28 minutes, and then a spurt from the Wolfpack team before half-time and after half-time. But taking the game away from York, but they've finished it stronger, 2 tries.
Blake, thoughts on what you've seen?
Yeah, I've been impressed from both teams as well. York have been well, but I've been real impressed with how the Wolfpack's played in the second half.
DFJ comes away again. He's got the bit between his teeth. He's seen Liam Kay score 5 tries. He's got 3, and that's all she wrote. But what an entertaining contest between the Toronto Wolfpack and the York City Knights, who led at one stage by 6 points in the first half, then got pounded by a much improved Wolfpack in the second half. And Liam Kay, the star of the show, with 5 tries, and the Toronto Wolfpack leave the field having beaten the York City Knights.